What's going on, everyone? So, reports have came out per IMDb. According to IMDb, Brian Neal will be Mason Gooding's stunt double in Scream 7. So, Mason Gooding is going to have a stunt double in Scream 7, which means he's going to be attacked, right? It means he's going to have some physical activity that's going to require a stunt double, right? You don't bring a stunt double in for a character that's just standing in the background all day, right? Bringing him in because you're going to need somebody to kind of fill in a spot for him for some action scenes, some fighting scenes, him getting stabbed again, him getting attacked, whatever approach that they end up going with, Chad. I'm all for Chad being in this film. I'm not against it. I thought he should have died in Scream 6, if I'm being honest. I just think you had this awesome, great moment and scene in that film, and you just kind of ruined it by him surviving at the end, right? You saw two Ghostface pop up at the same time and just go to town on Chad, pause, and it was great to see that kind of scene in that moment, and it's like, wow, what an epic death. And then you get to the end of the movie, and it's like, oh, so he didn't die, so that was all for nothing. What was the point? The dude was stabbed 20,000 times, and yet still managed to somehow miraculously survive. And look, I know some people, throw out oh, well, Dewey. There's a big difference between being brutally stabbed 100 times by two killers and getting poked in the back once. Right? Look at Scream 96. He literally got stabbed in the back once and the knife left in him and he just passed out. And then in Scream 2, same thing. He wasn't stabbed 15 times, he was stabbed twice. And then they justify it by the scar tissue, which, yeah, if you want to argue is a little silly, is a little goofy, then fine. But it still is much more justifiable than Chad literally being stabbed all over his entire body by two Ghostface. And then even in Scream 5, right, he just got, brutalized. It's just man. So, my point is don't do that again, please. Right? If you want to keep Chad around, and you want him to keep being in these movies, or Mason, I guess, right? Sure, fine. I'm all for it, right? I mean, we've had Gail and Sydney and, in 6 of these films, or B6 films, Gail, in her case, all 7 films, right? We're us Scream fans are accustomed to reoccurring characters. Us Scream fans are accustomed to, characters surviving. That's fine. If you like Mason enough, which is why they've kept him around, because originally he was supposed to die, just like David Arquette was originally supposed to die, but then they, did the thumbs up thing and all that stuff because they really like David Arquette, just like they really like Mason, right? And you keep hearing that stuff, and he's doing all these other projects, Spyglass, stuff like that, in Paramount, right? Perfect. If you like Mason, great. You want to keep him around, great. But can we stop having him just brutally attacked to the point where it's dude, the probability, I understand it's a movie. I understand there's movie logic and certain things and elements of that. But Scream has always done a good job of having and keeping and maintaining some form of realism. Are there unrealistic moments? Are there unrealistic things? Sure, of course. Because again, it is a movie. It is movie logic. But there's some stuff that's just over the top in the recent 2 Scream movies. And Mason has been pretty much a huge factor in that, right? Again, if you want to keep Chad, fine, keep Chad. I'm not against keeping Chad in the Scream movies. I'm not against you, wanting to have him be a focal point movie after movie after movie. Great. Let's do it. But I really do think that they need to kind of keep things in perspective with him and kind of, if you want to have him attacked, if he gets, stabbed in the stomach or something one time or whatever, right? If you want to kind of have the stakes seem raised, but in the end he ends up surviving, fine. Right? But again, there's a right way to approach it, in my opinion. Don't have him be just completely brutalized. The guy's literally getting his entire body tore up and he just walks it off. Right? It's just I'm good, guys. No worries. It's all good. Yeah, dude, you were stabbed 257 times. Thank God it was 258 times because I might have died, right? It's just come on, man. Can we keep it within range, right? I mean, in Scream 6, no one died in Scream 6. Outside of the bodega, which none of those characters matter. None of those characters count. And then Annika, or Anika, right? Like, she died, but like, again, it was like, why do we care? They didn't even build her character or nothing. Yeah, it was a cool death, but it was just like, I don't know. It's just been disappointing, right? And I really want to see them kind of get back on track here with the upcoming Scream 7. And I'm hoping that they don't have, like, Chad has been attacked more brutal than Randy was, and Randy died, right? Like, at least they kept Randy dead, right? Like, if you're gonna do that with Chad, like, again, keep it within more realism, right? But chances are they're like, or kill him, right? That's kind of my other point. Before I get into the other thing I was about to say, like, I'm not against you killing him either, right? Like, I also want them to pick a direction with him, right? Is probably the better way to put it, right? Pick a lane. Which route do you want to go? Do you want him to be a key fixture in this franchise for many movies to come, right? If Scream 8 is really greenlit and all that stuff, if that's the case, fine. Again, no big deal. But one, I think you need to develop his character more. I think you need to, like, we've had 2 movies with Chad and we still have no idea who he is as a character, right? Like, can we tell a little bit of a story about him? Can we kind of, build his character up in a better manner? And then, again, if you want to keep him around, you don't want him to die, well, then fine. Like, keep his attacks and him getting attacked within reason, right? I mean, the dude gets his head taken off, and it's like, oh, like, it's fine, just put it back on, right? Like, can we, again, keep things real, or as close to real as possible? Again, I understand movie logic. I understand that there's going to be unrealistic moments and stuff, but you don't have to brutalize Chad every single film and then expect, like, at some point his body's just gonna give out, right? Like, at some point he's just, just by circumstances is just gonna die, right? And there should be all kinds of after effects and, all kinds of things that he's going through, right? The other direction is they should just kill him. They should have killed him in Scream 6. You had a great scene and a great way to go out. That would have been such a cool way to see Chad go out, and would have been so much more memorable, in my opinion. But I felt like they ruined it. I felt like they tarnished it by having him give the thumbs up at the end. And it's just like, come on, man. Like, we didn't need to do that. We didn't need to go that direction, right? And I want to see them keep things, again, in perspective. Keep things within reason here, right? They like Mason. Great. You like Mason. You want to keep Mason around? Great. Keep Mason around. Right? You have ideas on, ways to further his story, then fine. Keep furthering his story. But we need development with him. And we need just to not have him be brutally attacked. Right? I want to see some, like, better structure with his character. See better structure with his story. Right? Like, what kind of role is he going to play in this film? No core 4. It's just going to be him and his sister. Jasmine Savoy Brown is back. And so you're going to have Chad and Mindy Meeks. Right? Like, you have a lot that you need to justify here. Why are they around Ghostface where Sydney's at? Is this film taking place in 2 different places? Like, what is going on? Do they go there to help Sydney? How do you explain, Tara and Sam not being in this film, right? Like, there's a lot of things that you got to kind of touch on with having Chad and Mindy in this film. But can we build their characters, right? Mindy too. I mean, same thing with Mindy, right? Like, you could have killed Mindy in the last 2 films, and I don't think anyone would have cared. Right? People love Jasmine Savoy Brown, but the character Mindy, is not being great, in my opinion. Again, I understand that she's supposed to be kind of like the very brash, like, impromptu, giving you rants type character and stuff. But can we get more depth to her character than just that, right? Like, tell a little more story to her character than just that. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel with your thoughts? Do you agree with me? You disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle. Do you feel like, yeah, definitely. Do you think, no, not yet? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. not subscribe channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.